Hello friends and welcome to today's session, how to use email to delight customers and prospects. Really? I am Baer, founder of the digital marketing and customer experience consultancy Convince and Convert, author of 6 books, including Hug Your Haters and Talk Triggers, Hall of Fame keynote speaker, host of the Social Pros podcast, and a very loyal, very satisfied Mixmax user. Couple things before we get started here. Will we be recording this session? In fact, we will. Are we doing Q&A? No, we are not. Why? Because this is actually, in truth, only like 9 minutes, maybe 10, maybe 11, somewhere in that ballpark. No time for Q&A, but you can always reach me on Twitter at @jbaer. One of the things that's true is that we all tell ourselves the exact same lie, that email is dying. I'm sure you've heard this. You may have even uttered these words, but it is not true. Now, of course, the core email mechanics haven't changed very much over the last 25 years. We still kind of send and receive email mostly the same. And it's also true that email is often misused and abused, and there's a lot of bad email out there. But it is also true that email remains the core of customer contact. It is the way that we communicate with the preponderance of our customers and with each other. And in those ways, email is as vital, if not more vital, than it has ever been. I mean, I've been involved with lots of big companies as a consultant for 30 years, and I've been involved in circumstances where people say, hey, what if we just tried to send less email? What if we moved away from email? And it never works. It never actually works. And, consider this, right? If we say that social media and social media apps, I don't know, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, whatever, if we believe that those things will replace email, how come you have to have an email address to sign up for one of those apps? Answer me that, friends. Let me just keep it real for a second. The problem isn't email. The problem is email that doesn't respect the customer. And I think we're all guilty of that from time to time, but we can save ourselves from that fate. What I want you to do is think small, my friends. Look, we talk about customer service and customer experience all the time as if they are a thing, as if they are holistic, as if customer service is one sandwich that you can order off a menu, as if customer experience is something that you can get your arms around easily. But they aren't. Customer service and customer experience are the collection, the collation of dozens, if not hundreds, of individual touch points. And so it's really, frankly, not useful at all to think of customer service and customer experience as one thing. But I know this. The magic 3 are things you should think about across the entirety of their interactions with you, all the different ways that you can delight them, you can disappoint them. The things that really matter to your customers, number only 3. The magic 3. First is to be quick. Time is the only inelastic resource. Wasting time, wasting your customer's time, is the ultimate form of disrespect. And I've done a tremendous amount of research on this over the years. Customers care about speed more than they care about anything else. They care about speed more than honesty, more than loyalty, more than accuracy. They care about speed the most. Nobody wants to waste time. In fact, the data show that 85% of Americans say that they hate to wait on hold because it's slow. And every time I see that stat, I'm like, sure, that makes sense. And I also think, who are the other 15%? Who are like, yeah, I got nothing else to do. I just like to listen to smooth jazz. I'll wait on hold indefinitely. And it's not just telephone. The average email response time is terrible. Last time I saw this data was 2 years ago. And the average, now this isn't going to be you because you're too smart for this, but the average email response time from a company back to a customer, 44 hours. You can be faster than that. You can use email to delight your customers with your speed by setting up smart autoresponders in Mixmax or similar systems, using Mixmax to follow up when you know the customer is eager to hear about you. Look, when you send something in Mixmax, and I do it all day, every day, it will tell you, as you see in the screenshot here, that the email was opened. And it will tell you, for example, that this email was opened at 8:51 a.m. Well, then if you want to blow your customer away with your speediness, you send the follow-up email when? You got it, friends, 8:52 a.m. They're like, wow, you are amazing. How quick can you possibly be? You can delight your customers with email by being quicker than they expect. You can also save customers time and delight them by setting appointments instantly. Man, I can't even tell you, back in the old days before I used Mixmax, how many hours, and I mean hours, I wasted saying, how about Thursday at 2? No, how about Wednesday at 7? How about midnight on a Saturday? The back and forth, the constant back and forth setting meetings. And then sometimes people use other tools where you just click a link and then you got to pick your time. I don't like those because then I got to do all the work, right? I got to go spelunking through your calendar like some kind of pioneer with a headlamp trying to find a time that works for me and maybe for you. Mixmax does it right. You pick the times that you're available, you drop them in the email, the customer or the prospect clicks one, boom, the meeting is set, and everybody saves time and they are delighted. The second thing that your customers care about after being quick is being clear. Look, if there's a misunderstanding between you and a customer, whose fault is that? A lot of times we think it's the customer's fault because they just didn't get it. I believe misunderstandings have only one parent, and it is you. If a customer doesn't understand, it's because and only because you didn't explain it well enough. The balance of power is on us to make sure that we communicate with clarity to our customers. Uncertainty breeds frustration. It creates dissonance in the mind, and customers hate that. They hate uncertainty. Let me tell you about my friend Wade Lombard. Wade owns a business called Square Cow Movers in Texas. They're a moving company, as you could probably figure out by now. They're in Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, maybe Houston, doesn't really matter. Wade is a good business person, and they run a good business. And I'll say this, hopefully this doesn't offend any of you. There's some moving companies out there that are not great, right? It's not necessarily always the best business from a customer service, customer experience standpoint, but Wade runs a good outfit, and he knows it. Well, he was doing a bunch of analysis of his customer feedback and his reviews and such, and he realized that he was getting a lot of negative reviews. And that seemed really confusing to Wade because he's like, look, I know we're running a good business. What's all this negativity about? So he dug a little deeper, and he discovered that most of the negativity was not really about moving. It wasn't like his guys broke a piano or whatever. It was all this uncertainty. It was customers didn't know exactly when they were showing up, and they didn't know that they had to move their car, and they didn't know that the cat couldn't be there, and they didn't know they had to wrap the dishes this particular way. It was all this kind of stuff, right? Well, Wade also thought that was mysterious because he said, we already told them all of these things. See, when you book a move at Square Cow, you get a welcome kit that tells you kind of all this stuff, and then you get a letter like a week out that tells you some stuff, and then you get a text message or an email the night before it tells you all this stuff. He's like, I don't understand. We already told them these things. How are they confused? How is there a misunderstanding? Well, Wade realized that misunderstandings only have one parent. It's his fault if the customers don't get it. And he realized something very important. 100% of his customers are moving. And nobody ever says, when I was at my best, that time when I moved, right? Moving makes us all crazy people. You either don't have time or you're stressed out. He was sending them the information, but they either weren't reading it or remembering it. So he said, new plan. Now we just double everything. So you get a welcome kit, and then you get another welcome kit, and you get a reminder letter, and then another one. Then you get a day before email, and then a day of email. Basically just doubled all the communication, and guess what? All the negative reviews went away. He just found a way to be more clear. And you can do that with email as well. You can set automated follow-up sequences and vary those sequences based on customer behavior to drive additional clarity. If somebody clicks on this link, they automatically get this email. If they click on this link, they automatically get a different email or some other kind of follow-up communication, right? You can structure this so there is no misunderstanding. And I got to tell you, I've used a lot of systems like this in my career. Mixmax is the easiest to use. It is incredibly simple, very intuitive. I love it, love it, love it. You can also make sure that there's no misunderstanding by taking relevant documents that customers need and embedding them in the email itself so they don't get eaten by the inbox monster, and you know the monster that I'm talking about. So here's an example. This is an ebook from Mixmax. It's actually embedded right into the email itself. It's not set up as an attachment that I can lose. I open the email, there it is. I can download it if I want to. I can look at it right in the email. Very slick, a very good way to be more clear. Third thing that your customers care about is that you're kind. Be quick, be clear, and be kind. We are living in an era, my friends, of empathy deficit, right? It wasn't that long ago that being kind to one another and to our customers was just how things were, but alas, that's not how things are now. In business, in life, certainly in politics, empathy is no longer the default. So when you actually display empathy, when you are disproportionately kind to your customers, they notice it, and it delights them. It helps you build your brand. There is plenty of oxygen on the high road, and email can actually help you take that high road. I'll give you an example. You may know the glasses company Warby Parker, right? So they sell eyeglasses and sunglasses and such online, also some retail stores now, but started online, and it's a really useful concept. What they used to do, they don't do it as much anymore, unfortunately, is people would ask a question of them on Twitter, typically Twitter, sometimes Facebook, and say, hey, do these glasses look good on me, or should I get the tortoiseshell or the black or whatever? And they'd tweet that out maybe with a photo. And then what Warby would do to delight their customers, to go the extra mile, is they would shoot a custom video and post it to YouTube and then send the customer back the link. So in this case, we're so excited for you, Anna. This is a Warby Parker help staff personnel, created a video, sent it to Anna, who just sent in a tweet and like really blew her mind, right? Terrific, terrific idea. Now you can do that much easier with email using Mixmax and Vidyard's Go Video project. You just create an embed video right into your customer emails. You just press a button, you shoot the video, you press another button, and it's automatically embedded into your email. An unbelievably simple way to delight your customers with email. I use this every single day for customers, for prospects, for my own team. So instead of sending long emails, our company uses these videos to communicate to one another about projects, about what's going on, about how we're going to create projects just like the one that I'm doing for you today. You can use email to be kind, to bridge the gap, to be more empathetic. You can also be kind by respecting your customer's channel choice. And this is a really interesting kind of ninja thing that you can do with Mixmax that I love. You can embed SMS in an email. So obviously we're all familiar with the idea of SMS and text messages, etc. You can actually use SMS by embedding it in the email. So you can actually have a customer type a little note to you, press a button, and it sends you a text message. Incredibly useful. Now you've got their cell phone number. You can go back and forth, saves a bunch of time, very respectful of their channel choice, because frankly, a lot of people like texting now. They in some cases prefer that to email. So if that's the case, you can use email to say, would you like to use SMS instead? Boom. Now they're in that sequence. Very, very nice way to handle your interactions. Friends, remember, there are a lot of things that you could do to delight your customers, but there's only 3 things that you absolutely, positively must do. They are to be quick, to be clear, and to be kind. And when you send smarter, better email, it will help you do all of those. It will help you be quick. It will help you be clear. It will help you be kind. And I very much hope that you take the time to work with Mixmax or something similar to learn how to delight your customers one email at a time. I'm Jay Baer from Convince and Convert. Thanks so much for your time and attention. Thanks to Mixmax for putting this together. I appreciate your opportunity and your attention, and have yourself a fantastic day.